Friends, on behalf of Bharati Vidya Bhavan, Navi Mumbai Kendra's IKS Center, and also on behalf of the associated institutions, we welcome all of you for this evening talk. Friends, as you know, that the IKSL was established just a couple of months before only, in the month of March, and we had two talks. And this talk, the learning from the Upanishad, is going to be, I'm sure, a fascinating one because it will bring out the depth of the Indian philosophy and Indian religious ethos. And to speak on this topic, we have very eminent person, Brahmachari, uh, Brahmachari Chaitanya, Samartha Chaitanya ji. He's an eminent personality. He's from Chinmaya Mission. He's an eminent personality in this particular area, and I'm sure that he'll be throwing a deep insight into the various aspects of the learning from Upanishad. I'm take this opportunity to express my gratitude to my close associate and friend, Mr. Prakash Perak, who has been instrumental in getting the speaker for today. So may I request Prakash Paraji to please introduce the speaker formally, and then Swamiji can start the discussion.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Uh, so good evening to all and Hari Om. Now, Brahmachari Samartha Chaitanya, in fact, preferred to, was attracted to spirituality from early days of his life. And while he in college, he preferred to be a Brahmachari. And he joined the 2-year course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Powai, which is the headquarter of Chinmay Mission. And he is the 18th batch pass out under the guidance of Puja Guruji Tejamanand. And he belongs to the Guru Parampara of Adi Shankaracharya, Gurudev Chinmayananda, and Guruji Tejamananda. And he is associated with Chinmay Mission for the last 11 years. And he has studied Naya and Sanskrit in traditional Patshala. Now, currently, he is conducting both online and offline classes and satsang on various Vedantic texts for children, youth, and elders. And I request Samartha ji to take over.
Hari Om. Welcome all to this evening session. So today we are going to discuss. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So today we are going to discuss the learnings from Upanishad. So as we know, Upanishad is one of the most prominent texts which has lot of influence over the philosophy in Indian subcontinent. So mainly Upanishads are part of Vedas. As we know, the Vedas are divided in multiple ways. There is one way to divide Vedas in only two parts. One is called Karma Kanda and one is called Jnana Kanda. Then there is way where we divide the Vedas in three portions, three segments. There it is Jnana Kanda, Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Jnana Kanda. So three. And then another way to divide the Vedas is in four sections. And it is called Mantra Bhag or Samhita Bhaga, where all the mantras, only mantras are there. Then comes Brahmana Bhaga, where the usage of those mantras, that is, in which ritual, which mantra should be used, and in which ritual, what kind of kriya action should be performed. All these things, they are explained. That is Brahmana Bhaga. Then comes Aranyaka. So Aranyaka, they are for the Saguna Upasana, that is Upasana of the form. This is precursor to the Murti Puja, what we do now. So in Vedic Upasanas, different Upasana, like Upasana on the Shabda, Upasana on the Omkar, Upasana on the Akasha, Upasana on the Surya Bimba, Upasana on the Agni. It is meant for concentration of the mind. Okay. So this is the Upasana Kanda. And the last portion comes, which is called Vedanta, or also famously known as Upanishad. This is purely the philosophical text which explains the Tattvajnana philosophy called as Vedanta. And there are different schools of Vedanta, but most prominent is Advaita Vedanta. So that is complete oneness of Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara, world, individual, and the God. The absolute reality is one and the same. That is the fundamental principle of Upanishads. Now, mainly as these Upanishads are main focused on this knowledge, and that's why they are called as Brahma Vidya. So in Shankaracharya Bhashya, if we see, the primary meaning of word Upanishad itself is given as the knowledge of Brahman. What we mean by Upanishad? Upanishad, primary meaning is the knowledge of Brahman. By implication, secondary meaning is the text in which this knowledge is given. And then the word, literal meaning of the word Upanishad based on its etymology is again something different. So, word Upanishad in its whole indicates the knowledge of Brahman. By implication, it indicates the text in which this knowledge is given. So that is called Upanishad Grantha. Then, by etymological meaning, we understand that Upanishad means being sitting close to the Guru and learning. So it is direct knowledge transfer from Guru to Shishya. Very important. Another meaning of this Upanishad is that which removes all the sorrow. That is called that Upanishad. Etymologically, if we understand all the words Upa, Ni, and Sat, so that Sat, Shat, it means destruction. Destruction of what? Destruction of the sorrow. So why this Brahma Vidya is explained? Brahma Vidya is explained to know the Brahman. And why to know the Brahman? Because by knowing the Brahman, we destroy our sorrows, which is the whole pursuit of human life. Everyone wants to get rid of all the sorrows and attain the happiness. For that, this Upanishad Vidya, knowledge of Upanishad, is expounded. Now, in Parampara, we say Vedas are the Apaurusheya. So the knowledge has come from the divine itself, the Bhagwan himself, to the Rishis who meditated upon the reality and they got the revelation of this knowledge. Now, scholarly view is different. They say these are the texts written at some point by some people. Even if we accept that viewpoint, the basic theory that knowledge is imperishable and rishis are not the creator of this knowledge. So they have not come up with these thoughts. They only expressed it in one particular thought process. That's it. It's not an invention of Brahman. It is a discovery of Brahman. So when we study Upanishad, it's not that someone wanted to create some theory and then for that they came up with some concept called as Brahman. No. As we say, Brahman means what? Brahman means absolute reality. That something called as absolute reality is there. Those who focus, meditate upon them, to them, this absolute reality is revealed and then they expressed it in their own way. So, if we look at the Upanishad, most of the Upanishad are in the form of conversation. Very few, like Ishavasya Upanishad and Mundaka Upanishad, they are like single pointed expounding of knowledge. The Guru is continuously explaining and Shishya is throughout listening. That is there only in very few Upanishads. Most of the Upanishads, if we say like major Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Prashnopanishad, all these things, Mundaka Upanishad, all these Upanishads, they are in the conversation form. So Guru and Shishya, they are directly understanding what the reality is. Guru is teaching, Shishya is trying to grasp it. This is the basic foundation knowledge of the Upanishad. So when we say learning of Upanishad, fundamental purpose of the Upanishad is this only. But as any ultimate goal has to be supported by many intermediate goals. It cannot be achieved directly. If we want to climb the top of the mountain, we always say, Shane, Shane, Panchayatani Shane, Shane. 5 things you should do, Shane, Shane. In that Vidya also is Shane, Shane. Shane, Shane means slowly, slowly, one step at a point. Vidya, Artha, Kantha, Gamana, and Parvata Murdhan, climbing on the top of the mountain. All these things you should do slowly, slowly, one step at a time. Because if you try to jump, there is always chance of falling. So even though Brahma Vidya, attaining the state of moksha, liberation, is the primary ultimate goal of the Upanishad. But that goal is directed, is paved by multiple different intermediate goals. What are those things? So these are all also the learnings from Upanishad which we get. One of the most important learning which we get from Upanishad, from Upanishad, is about the conduct. A good conduct, virtuous conduct is always important. So, how one person should behave, that is explained not in some Dharma Shastra Grantha, but in Upanishad Grantha only. From there only, Dharma Shastra has taken the idea. Okay, so in Taittiriya Upanishad,
क्या भाषा
Valli, Shiksha Valli,
अभी कुछ नहीं शनिवार
11
शाम को
Anu.
पूछने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है
Hari Om.
अभी कुछ नहीं फॉरेन सब बंद है अभी शनिवार शाम को थोड़ी मिलेगा हाँ मंडे को मिलेगा ना मंडे
Hello, hello.
सुबह शाम
Kindly mute yourself, please. All are requested to mute, please. Mr. Amol Murgai, please mute. Mr. Ramesh Sinha, please mute.
Okay. So Taittiriya Upanishad, Pratham Shiksha Valli, 11 Anuva, it talks about the Shishyanu Shasanam. So here, how to live in the society, that is being taught to a Shishya. And who is that Shishya? That Shishya is the one who has completed his study. So it's not someone who has newly came to the Gurukul. No, not to that Shishya, it is not. Because to that Shishya, anyway, during the course, lot of things will be given. But as a final advice, now that the student have studied the text, student has practiced all the knowledge, different fields of knowledge, schools of thoughts are learned properly by the Shishya. When that student goes out in the society, how that student should behave. That is explained in here. So, very famous. Veda Manuchacharya Ante Vasina Manuchasti. After teaching all the Vedas, after giving all the knowledge, teacher teaches this. So, primary knowledge of Shastra is given already. In that, anyway, how to live is explained. But again, as a final advice, Guru is teaching. First thing is Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. That you must speak truth and you must follow the righteous path. Very important. Then very famous words which are used as proverbs, as a muhavra. In Hindi we say muhavra. Na? Like that they are used those are also Upanishad mantras actually. What are those? Matrudevo bhava, Pitrudevo bhava, Acharya devo bhava, Atiti devo bhava. These are the Upanishad mantras. This is the Upanishads of the Guru, that you should treat your mother like a deva. Matrudeva bhava literally means be the one for whom mother is God. Be the one for whom father is a God. Okay, so very important how to live in the society. Then afterwards, Guru what else? Now Shishya is there with the Guru for more than 10 years. So what Shishya is doing during that time? Shishya is observing all the behavior of the Guru. Just a minute. So Shishya is observing the Guru. So automatically whatever is the behavior of Guru is copied by the Shishya. So Guru is giving one advice and one caution. What are our karmas are? They may not be perfect. Among all our actions, the good actions which are not blamed by others, this is not a good action. Which is not accused by others to be not good action, you should not perform those actions. Those actions which are only praiseworthy, such action you should copy. So if I do something and it is not praised by others, don't follow even if I'm doing, because that is mistake on my part. Even though if we have studied everything, it is a human error. No one is perfect. So you should not do all these kind of things. No itarani. You should not do other things. Whatever is our good conduct, only that you follow. Very important thing. Then there, afterwards, what it says, ye tatra brahmana sammarshinaha yukta ayukta dharma kamasu. If you have any doubt about how some action should be performed or how my duty should be performed, how I should earn the money. Vritta vichikitsa. Vritta vichikitsa means what? How I should do some work, business, or job or anything and earn money. In this case, if you have any problem, look at those learned people who are good thinkers. Not only learned, but they have their own independent good thinking. Those who are yukta, yukta means composed in their behavior. Those who are aluksha, aluksha means they are not dry people. Aluksha is aruksha. Ruksha means very dry, rough. Means what? They don't disregard the feelings, emotions, and thoughts of others. They think about it. Those who are dharma kama, they wish to do only good in the world. You look at such people and what they do, you copy that if you have any doubt. Just like that, just because you have studied the Shastras, everything is not mentioned in the Shastra. Each and every situation in each and every person's life is different. So that's why Upanishads are telling us you should follow the conduct of learned people who are with all these qualities. Same thing you should do when some accused come in front of you. Accused of some mistreatment, accused of some wrong action, some papa is in front of you, how you should treat them? You should treat them in this way only. You should not be losing your composure. You should not be being very dry and disregard the thoughts and emotions of that person. Do whatever is right as others are doing. Very important thing. So through the Upanishads, we get this understanding also about the conduct which is very important. Then another thing about the, as I said, there are multiple ways, which are the intermediate goals towards one ultimate goal. In that, of course, the qualities which are required to attain the moksha, they are also given. The sadhana chatushtaya, it is called. Many people say the sadhana chatushtaya, etc. These are all the later evolvements in the philosophy. No, they are directly from the Upanishads. In Upanishad, Viveka Vairagya is mentioned. In Mundaka Upanishad, mantra comes that after examining the world, a person should come to this conclusion that there is no pleasure in the world, and hence should evolve the Nirveda. Now, Nirveda is the word used in the meaning of Vairagya. Nirveda means complete dispassion towards worldly pleasure, which is one of the sadhana chatushtaya. Same way, Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha is given in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. What kind of qualities person should have to say Shantaha, Danta, Uparataha. So instead of saying Shama, it is a Shanta, means the one who has the Shama. Instead of saying Dama, it is said Danta, means the person who has Dama. All these qualities, Shama is control over mind, Dama is control over our external sense organs. All these qualities, they have to be there in order to attain the moksha. So all the sadhana chatushtayas, they are also learnings from Upanishads only. They are not from the some other later text. Okay. Same way, definition of guru is also explained in Upanishad itself. The very famous quote that Guru has to be Stotri and Brahmanishta, the one who is very well versed in all scriptures and one who has realized the Brahman. All those things has to be. That again, same, it comes from Mundaka Upanishad only. Okay. So these are all different things which are explained in Upanishad. Another very important aspect in the Upanishad, which is explained, that is the different knowledges which are available for study in ancient times. So it is very beautiful, famous scene from the Chandogya Upanishad. In 7th chapter, when Brahmaji approaches the Sanat Kumars, there Sanat Kumar, they asked him, Naradji goes to Sanat Kumar and asks that, please teach me. Adhihi. Adhihi means please teach me. Now, this person has come to learn something. First, we should know what that person has studied. Then only we can teach something new. Whatever is already known, whatever is already studied, no need of teaching it again. That's why this Sanat Kumaras, they asked him, what you have studied, that you first tell us. So Naradji explains whatever all different things he has studied. It is so beautiful that we understand so many knowledge streams were available in our ancient India to study. See what he is saying: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and fourth Atharva Veda. All the 4 Vedas I have studied. Itihas Purana, Itihas and Purana combinedly it is called as Panchama Veda. That Panchama Veda, Itihas Purana also he has studied. Then Vyakarana, grammar, Shraddha Kalpa, all the different rituals he has studied. Ganita, mathematics. Then Nidhi Shastra, Nidhi means money. So economics he has studied. Tarka Shastra, logic. Niti means Rajaniti, politics. Deva Vidya is Jyotish. That is Phala Jyotish, how to predict the future. That is called Deva Vidya. Brahma Vidya is here. Brahma Vidya doesn't mean the absolute knowledge of the Brahman, but here Brahma Vidya means the entire knowledge about the Vedas. So he has not only studied the recitation of Vedas, but their meaning, their application, their usage, everything he has studied. Brahma Bhuta Vidya. Bhuta Vidya means controlling the animals, etc. So horse riding, uh, elephant riding, all these things. Bhuta does not mean Bhuta Pet Pishacha, etc. Bhuta means all the creatures. Bhuta Vidya is animal. Chhatra Vidya. Chhatra Vidya means skill of war that he has studied. Nakshatra Vidya. Nakshatra Vidya is astronomy, study of movement of different constellations. Sarpa Vidya, catching the snake, taking out the poison, identifying the poison based on the effects after snake bite, medication, all these things, they are called as Sarpa Vidya. Devajana Vidya. Devajana Vidya is what? Devajana means Gandharva, Yaksha, etc. So what they do is Nritya, Sangeet, Natya, etc. This is called Devajana Vidya. So all these things Naradji have studied. Just look at the field of knowledge which is available to understand everything. So scriptural knowledge is also there, spiritual knowledge is also there, religious knowledge is also there, and all the secular knowledges and different trades are also available for study. So this we understand from the Vedas. And again, because it is Upanishad, so what after knowing all these things, what he says, I only know the mantras. I only know all this knowledge which is called as lower knowledge. The absolute knowledge which is Brahma Vidya, which is main purpose of the Upanishad, that is unknown to me. So please you teach me that. So this is how, as I said, how you progress in the spirituality, that is explained in the spirituality. See, Naradji has acquired all the accomplishment in this world, but all those accomplishments, they are unable to give satisfaction and contentment. Unwavering, undisturbed quietude and happiness is not available by any of these achievements. That's why he is going and trying to learn something more important. Okay. There was a question in the chat box. What is the meaning of word Narada? So Narada means Naram Dadati iti Narada. This is the etymology. Nara means what? Nara means Nara means one individual, one human being is called Nara. Totality, entire accumulation of all beings is called Nara. That is nothing but Ishvara. Ishvara is samashti, totality of all the individuals put together. Individuals are parts, Ishvara is total. So that is called Nara, the one who gives, one who teaches about that Nara, that is about the Ishvara, the one who makes devotee able to achieve the state of God, that is complete oneness with the God, moksha. The one who gives, that is called Narada. Okay, so we know all these different knowledge fields are also available for study in the Vedas. Then few concepts which are exclusive for our Hindu dharma, they come from this Upanishad only. Like Punarjanma concept is explained in the Upanishads. The Karma Vipaka Siddhanta, the theory of karma, that is what your actions are, so will be your fruit. That is also explained in the Upanishad. It is not Puranic concept. It is directly from the Upanishad. In Kathopanishad mantra comes, Yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehina sthanu manye musayante yatha karma yatha shrutam. So what this mantra says, Yonim anye prapadyante. People, all the jivas, they acquire different wombs, different births. Sharirattvaya dehina. Why? To get the different bodies. So one who is born in human form right now need not only keep taking human form in the future. It can go even to the lower yonis like sthanu manye prapadyante. Sthanu means trees which are stationary. Sthanu literally means the pole or a pillar. So trees are called as pillars because they stay in the one place. So even a human being can go to the womb of a tree. So this punarjanma concept is explained there in this Upanishads. And next, immediately, if you see how they get to those birth, not because of whim or fancy of someone. It's not that there is someone who is deciding out of his or her will कि इसको ये birth देंगे, इसको एक birth देंगे, इसको ये birth देंगे. It is not like that. Yatha karma yatha shrutam. The way your actions are, the way your knowledge is. Depending on that, in the Upanishad. So this mantra comes from Kathopanishad. Oh, Yatha karma yatha shrutam. In the beginning of Upanishad also, here when Nachiketa is telling his father Vajashrasam that you should look at the people who were before, they have gone to different births now. It is like he explains with the example of crop. How every year crop is sown, seed is sown, crop grows, then it is harvested, then again that same crop is sown again, and again that cycle continues. So every year this cycle of sowing, growth and harvesting goes on, goes on, goes on. Like that, every being goes through cycle of birth and death, birth and death. Again, being Upanishadic knowledge, what is the way? Way is the knowledge. If you attain such a knowledge which takes you beyond this cycle, then you are out of this. Then, as I said, in Upanishad, lot of Saguna Upasana is explained. Saguna Upasana is what? Upasana of particular form, so that mind can be concentrated. Concentration of mind is very important. So, from that, for that, lot of upasanas are explained. So, there is one famous incident in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad where different things are considered as Brahman and upasana is given, explained to that. Now, that dialogue is very funny. There, one Balaki Rishi, who is Brahmana by Varna, approaches the king Ajata Shatru, who is Kshatriya, and asks him that I will, if I teach you what is Brahman, what you will give me? So Ajata Shatru says, if you tell me what is Brahman, I will teach you, give you 1,000 cows as a dakshina. Then Balaki starts telling, see, that light which shines in the sky is the Brahman. So Ajata Shatru says, see, that is not the ultimate Brahman. Yes, it is big, important thing, but it is not absolute Brahman. We only worship it as a Brahman for particular reason. Then he says Surya is Brahman. He says, no, Surya again is not absolute Brahman because it is name and form. Brahman is not name and form. But we worship Surya as Brahman. Why? To get the brilliance to our intellect, to get the prowess, power over our enemies. So, upasanas are explained that this object you consider is a Brahman. Upasana, definition of upasana is Nitrushta Vastuni Utrushta Buddhi. Something ordinary you take up, superimpose the idea of absolute best thing on it. and then you concentrate upon it. Then slowly, once your mind is concentrated, remove the object, only focus on that absolute best, ultimate reality, then you will realize the reality. That is the fundamental concept of Upasana. Same Upasana concept later on in Purana time transformed into the Murti Puja. Because instead of focusing on some object in the nature, why not superimpose all those ideas on one particular fixed form, and then by that achieve the concentration of mind, and then as per Upanishadic injunction, Upanishadic guidance, remove the form and achieve the ultimate reality, attain the absolute Satchidananda Brahma. That is the way. So Murti Puja also has the beginning of the roots of that, not Murti Puja as such. Focusing on the form is also there in the Upanishads. Please be aware, it is very rare, but it is there. Like Ganapati Atharva Shirsha is very famous sutta from Vedas. It is considered as Upanishad. Ganapati Atharva Shirsha Upanishad. At the end of Falashruti, in Veda itself, it is said, Ya evam Veda iti Upanishad. So, Ganpati Atharva Shirsha is Upanishad. And if you see in Ganpati Atharva Shirsha Upanishad, entire form of Ganpati is explained. Ekadantam chaturhastam pashamankucha dharinam tadancha varadam haste dhanam shagadbhajam. So, this entire form is explained. Why? Because concentration of form as a upasana is part of our Vedic literature. Then it was crystalline and made very precise and technical thing in the Puranas. But the root is in Vedas. Another very important thing we learn from the Vedas is, particularly from the Upanishads, is study of scriptures by the female students. Very important. Right? Recent past, if we see, for long time, ladies were kept away from the studying the scriptures, saying it is not meant for them, it is meant for only human beings. But if we go to Upanishad, very famous portion of the Upanishad is Gargi and Yajnavalkya Samvad. So Gargi is a Brahmavadini, which is a scholar, ladies who has great command over knowledge of the Brahman, and she debates with the Yajnavalkya. And Yajnavalkya is impressed. Yajnavalkya is considered one of the greatest teachers of that time, and he is also impressed by the knowledge of that Gargi. So that we understand. Later on, that same Yajnavalkya teaches this Brahma Vidya to his own wife, Maitri. So another famous incident where ladies were taught about this Upanishad Vidya, it comes in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad only, where Maitri asked Yajnavalkya, if you are ready to give up everything and just going away, that means you must be attaining something which is much more important. So I don't want this which you are ready to give up. I want that for which you are giving up all this worldly wealth. Because whenever we give up something, we sacrifice something, it's always for something higher. It's simple. So if Yajnavalkya is giving up all his worldly wealth, that means he must be acquiring something higher. So that Maitri says, okay, I want that only, not these things. So then Yajnavalkya teaches the Maitri this Brahma Vidya, the famous Aham Brahmasmi Mahavakya that comes in that Samvad only. Okay, very famous. Another knowledge about this reference about ladies learning the Shastra comes in Aitareya Upanishad. Aitareya Upanishad it it is not in mantra, but it is in tradition that after certain mantras, after certain portion, all the pregnant ladies are told to leave the classroom. They should not learn study, because it is all about the garbha and all about the creation of womb, etc. So that knowledge may disturb the pregnant lady, because already she is in delicate state. So only for that much portion they are told to. But by that we understand that not only ladies, but married ladies, pregnant ladies also were taught. Everything else is taught to them. Only particular portion which is a little difficult, considering their state, they are told to leave the class. Okay, very important aspect. The name Aitareya Upanishad itself teaches about the society a lot about that time of that time. Aitareya word comes from the root Itara, the son of Itara. So it is said that Aitareya Rishi was the Rishi whose mother was not a Brahmin by the birth, but he became the Rishi of Upanishad. So Itara, someone other than the Brahman was the, and she was married to a Brahman Rishi. So that kind of intercaste marriages and children are born out of that marriages were even taught everything. They were given so prominence that they become the Rishi of the Upanishad. So this is about the social structure. So in a way, if we look in depth with the Upanishads are huge. Number of Upanishads is huge. Minimum 100 to 108. People differ in the number, but maximum are considered as authentic Upanishads, which are directly from the Vedas. Among them, Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya, these are the biggest one. It has lot of different aspects. Mahanarayan Upanishad is another very big, huge Upanishad. In that we understand the 5 faces of the Lord Shiva, their names, etc. All the Sandhya Vandan mantra, Sandhya Vandan which is done, most of the mantras, Gayatri, Upasthanam, etc., they come from this Mahanarayan Upanishad. There is entire section in Mahanarayan Upanishad which only teaches the different Gayatri mantras for different deities. So 11, 12 Gayatri mantras. Gayatri is a chanda, which is particular meter. In that meter, any mantra comes, it is called Gayatri mantra. Very famous is the Surya Gayatri, Savita Gayatri. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani. That is the Savita Gayatri. But like that, so many Gayatri mantras are there. All those, their root is in Mahanarayan Upanishad. Very famous quote which was used by our government during the G20 summit last year, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam quotation is also from the Upanishad. It comes in Maha Upanishad. So, where it says, those people who are of very small mind, they say this is mine and this is yours. They discriminate. But Udara Charinam Tartu, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, those who are very kind-hearted, for them entire world is their own house. So highest pinnacle of the Upanishadic knowledge is the Brahma Vidya. Then all the subsidiary qualities which are required to attain that Brahma Vidya is also given in the Upanishad. Then different practice, rituals, upasanas, which are helpful in acquiring the sadhan chatushtaya, qualifications for Brahma Vidya. That also is explained in Brahma Vidya. Then theosophical part of our religion, Karma Siddhanta, Punarjanma Siddhanta, different devatas, their worship, their mantras, all these things, they root Murti Puja, focusing on one particular form, all those things, they root from the Upanishads. All this knowledge is given in the Upanishad, and later on it is crystalline and purified, made available for general practice in Puranic time, and afterwards Tantra, Dharma Shastra, etc. etc. Okay, so this much is from my side today about the learnings from Upanishad. We have some time. If we have any questions, we can discuss that.
Thank you very much, Brahmacharya. I think people can unmute and ask questions if there are questions.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
yes, please.
how can one distinguish between a simple ordinary shloka and a mantra? Now you have read, so you have explained a mantra and shloka. But an ordinary
Yeah.
person, that's one. Second one is uh, who other than Upanishad, sir, any teaching by a guru, can it be called a mantra? Because
So,
for instance, there are some special mantras which are given by, say, Shankaracharya or everybody to their disciples or to whom they give diksha. So just a clarification. Maybe the question itself is trivial, but it is very much there.
Yeah. So, see, simple. All the Vedic literature is called as mantra. So, anything which is in there in the Vedas, all the suktas, all the Upanishads, all the Aranyakas, Brahman Granthas, all they are called as mantra. So, Purusha Sukta, Narayan Sukta, all these Sukta, Rudradhyay, Chamaka, all these things, Upanishads, they are called as mantra, always. All the Puranas, Puranic literature, Itihasa, that is Ramayana and Mahabharata, all the Dharma Shastra which is in metrical form, they are called shlokas. Okay, and apart from the Vedic literature, all the literature which is used for recitation, where particular name of some devata is used as a base, and some qualities, some lila, some form of that devata is explained, and then it is meant for recitation, repeated chanting, then also it is called as mantra. No, like for example, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. This is called as mantra. Why? Because that Ram name is chanted again and again, again and again in this. This is second type of mantra. One is Vedic mantras. Another is, these are the Nama mantras, where some Nama of that Devata is recited. Then there are Bija mantras. Bija mantras, they mainly come from Tantra Shastra, Agama Shastra, where they are only different sounds. Ram, Vam, Rim, Klim, all these sounds, they are also called as Bija mantra. Why they are called Bija? Because if someone meditates, if someone recites that Bija, from that Bija something sprouts. Bija is seed. If we sow the seed, something sprouts. Like that, from every Bija mantra, some form of a devata, some knowledge about some deity is revealed. That's why they are called Bija mantras. Okay, so there are Vedic mantras, there are Nama mantras, there are Bija mantras. Whenever Guru teaches some Shishya and gives some Diksha, Diksha is always given of the Nama mantra. Every Sampradaya has their own Nama mantra. So that Nama mantra Diksha is given to that, like Varkari Sampradaya in Maharashtra, their mantra is Ramakrishna Hari. Ramdasi Sampradaya mantra is Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Then Vaishnavites, they do Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All these are the called mantras. Else, every metrical composition is called shloka. Okay? Clear? Yes. Yeah, Anshul ji has raised his hand.
So you're talking about the mantra. I just wanted to just say that now lot of neuroscience research is done related to mantras. Everyone agree that mantra is able to increase the alpha level in brain. It is able to annihilate negative thinking. It helps people, just like pollution, environmental pollution. Mantra plays an important role even in mental pollution or in the good growth of brain. Many foreign countries have taken it up study of Sanskrit or chanting of mantra so seriously. Why can't it be done in India? It should not be talking about this mantra should not be related to any political or any religion. It should be done even from the health perspective, which there is a proof, scientific proof today. For everything we ask science. But when science itself confirms that what our ancient wisdom said is right, why should there be no? I mean, people should be more vocal about it. If you're so sincere in following the British education system, why not deviate little from and be more have pride in nation today because of the situation today? Why not about these things which is going to help us? Good young minds will come with this. I feel so, sir. This is just my feeling.
Yeah,
I
so
couldn't
it is right. But now what we can do, we can only tell this is the importance. And again, see, if you ask me, all this science and all this physical benefit, these are the last benefits. The benefit which we get from mantra, that is the blessings of the devatas, that is much more subtler and much more important, higher benefit. And it is beyond any science because it is experiential. You cannot put the experience on the any dial. Even now, after so much of uh, technological development, if you go to doctor and say I have pain in my stomach, that doctor doesn't have gadget which can touch your stomach and tell you have this much stomach pain. They tell you on the degree of 1 to 10 how much pain you feel. You only have to tell I feel like 5, 7 pain. So all these experiential benefits which are beyond any documentation, beyond any test, that is actually more important. But yes, to start this medical and health benefits, they can be a trigger point. अब जिसकी जैसी इच्छा, they can
Thank you.
Yeah, Samantra, brother, I have a question. First of all, thanks for the session.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah,
We'll just go in the sequence. Many
Sure.
people have raised their hands, so we'll first take them.
Okay, shall I hold?
Yeah, please. You also please raise your hand. We'll take
Yeah, I have
Anshul
raised
ji.
my hand. Yeah, Anshul. So this is Anshul. And my question is, see, whenever we chant mantras or shloka, we also hear at the same time that there has to be aligned energies and aligned, emotions towards it. And
yes,
at the same time, we also hear from so many, different philosophers that if you are not chanting it correctly, then it may get you negative impact. So my question here is like, if I have, complete emotions, complete faith into that mantra, but somehow I'm not able to pronounce it correctly. So is it going to get me negative impacts, or it will align with my, emotions and intentions?
Nama mantra will not give any negative impact, even if you pronounce wrong. Vedic mantra and Bija mantra, yes, their pronunciation is a very important aspect.
Okay,
Nama
but if the
mantra,
person,
no problem.
So just in case, if the person is unaware or maybe little lesser educated, then means how it should be, kind of little punishable act or
Yeah,
Means
that's
how it
why
can
we
be
should not
rectified.
chant any mantra on our own. First, we must learn it from Guru.
Okay. Okay.
Very important.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yes. Next.
Yeah, may I go ahead?
Yes, yes, please. Thank
Thank you very much. First of all, I wanted to compliment you for your wonderful session today. You know, gave us a lot of insights on Upanishads. And in fact, my mind was going to the original teacher of Upanishad, Srila Vyasadeva. And so beautifully, Vyasadeva has compiled for us the 4 Vedas, 108 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, Itihas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Vedanta Sutra, and so on. And it is also mentioned by Srila Vyasadeva himself. I mean, he has actually confided to his guru, Narad Muni, that after compiling all these Vedic scriptures, especially Upanishads, there was some element of morosity. He was a little bit morose. And he was asking Narad Muni the reason for that. So Narad Muni said that you have focused mainly on the 4 Purusharthas in the Upanishad, the Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. But you have not glorified enough the absolute truth. That means the super personification of the absolute truth, that is not enough glorified. So if you can glorify him more, then that will be giving you a lot of happiness and satisfaction. And that is after compiling all these Upanishads, he came up with Bhagavad or Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
And
Bhagavad.
Srimad Bhagavatam gives a beautiful one verse, which I think is in the first canto. It says that Vadanti tat vidas Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yat jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdayate. So here Narad Muni is giving him the knowledge, saying that the absolute truth is non-dual substance. That is basically the students of Upanishads will see it as Brahman or impersonal Brahman, and the students of yogi, I mean people who are yogic followers, they will see it as localized Paramatma, and the bhaktas or the devotees will see him as a form of Bhagavan. And when you glorify that Bhagavan, then you will get the happiness. So this is Pancha Purushartham, that is Prem. So I was just, when you are giving a lot of nice explanations from Upanishads, my mind was going towards this particular samvad between Vyasadeva and Srila Naradji, and how beautifully Naradji explained to him that, ultimately for human society, there's one thing that if you want to give them the Bhagavad Puran. And that is how Srimad Bhagavatam came into existence. Because it's impossible in Kali Yuga for human beings to go through all the Upanishads and, Vedic injunctions and everything. So Bhagavatam is a capsule, encapsulates everything, Srimad Bhagavatam. And of course, in conjunction with Sri Bhagavad Gita, then we are getting, complete practical application also for our living. So it's a comment, but I really appreciated your talk on this Upanishads. Beautiful, very inspiring also. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, yes.
Any other last question? If there is no question, then I think we take this opportunity on behalf of the IKS cell of Navi Mumbai Kendra to profusely thank Brother Samartha Chaitanya ji for having taken his time
Yeah,
out.
it's Brahmachari Samartha, brother. The DR is for Brahmachari.
Brahmachari Samartha Chaitanya ji to be with us and share his deep insight into the learning from Upanishads is a vast subject. But I'm sure that considering the time constraint, he has done an outstanding and an excellent and fabulous job. And my great appreciation also goes to Prakash Parajji. Thank you very much, sir. Both of you,
Yeah.
thanks a lot. May God bless you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. And my appreciation to the audience also. Thank you a lot. See you again for the next IKS session. Thank you very much.
Hari Om.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Sen Gupta Saab, namaste. Thank
Hari
you so
Om, and
much.
thank you very much.
Good evening. Jai Shri Krishna.